I'm stood on top of what used to be the most secure police station in the country. It used to house suspected members of the IRA, Al Qaeda. If you were a terrorist in this country, this is where you were taken. But the bobbies don't live here anymore. It's been taken over by a group of anarchists, and we're here to ask them, why?
Paddington Green police station used to house extremists of all kinds. Its underground holding cells are surrounded by blast-proof doors inches thick, and the lockups themselves are claustrophobic. When the station was open, it was the only facility in the country purpose-built for suspected terrorists. Now the anarchists have taken over the asylum. Are they just trying to piss off the police?
Come get it, motherfuckers.
They say they're making a political point about capitalism, the environment, and housing in London. Green anti-capitalist front intend to establish a radical community centre in the old cop shop. If its old tenants don't kick them out first.
Obviously it's a massive building and we see no reason to keep it to ourselves. In fact, that's the entire point of being here, is that, you know, I don't know if you've seen the statistic, there's 2.4 entire empty buildings for every single homeless person in London. And when that's the case, and the police are so focused on defending the system which makes that happen, and will relentlessly side with landlords, side with the government, side with the state against people who are just trying to get by, they'll move fucking beggars on, like people are just trying to ask for money, they'll go just bully them away. It's fucking gross. That's why taking this station's so important, because it's like we're turning their tools against them and making it into a space for the people again.
At the end of the day, what we're saying with these empty buildings and homeless people on the street is we're living in an inefficient system. It's really, really inefficient.
We clearly value property prices more than letting people have somewhere to live. For the people who actually make these decisions and kind of make this stuff happen in the everyday, your ministers, your corporations, etc., then this is exactly working as intended. It's something to say like, look, you better fucking go to work 40 hours a week and work hard, or 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week in a 0 hours contract, and look where you'll end up, and we ain't gonna help you. And having these buildings empty, it's not a sad thing to them. It's not some derelict building that could be used for something good. It's a potential investment opportunity.
The station's been closed since late in 2018, but the remnants of previous police activity are everywhere to be seen.
Bloody hell.
Check that out.
Fuck ton of keys here.
Have you figured out what any of them are for?
I mean,
Few of them.
we're planning on sitting down and having a little, 4-hour session.
First stop on our tour, the infamous underground holding cells, complete with flat screen TV.
Yes, this is the barrier between the regular cells and the high security.
So this is high security down here,
Yeah.
regular cells back there,
Yep.
separated by 2 sets of blast doors.
Cool, innit?
So people were spending like up to a month in these cells.
A month in here?
Yeah, in a cell like this.
Some of Britain's most notorious terrorists have been questioned here. So what better place to interrogate these anarchists?
Would you accept that what you're doing now in being in this space is illegal?
It's not illegal. It's not illegal to be in this space. Squatting is legal in the UK. Thankfully, it is still legal. You can occupy a non-residential building if you say it's your home, and this is home to people. What we're doing is perfectly legal.
Is there a hypocrisy in you guys standing against that system and the rules that they enforce, but then simultaneously using squatters' rights and the law around that to stay inside this building?
I think I'd say that, it's a difficult one, because ideally we wouldn't be using the tools of the state, but we live in a system and you ultimately can't live outside of it without running into the woods. And even then you can't run into the woods because they're all owned by someone and they'll kick you out, and there is no way to live outside the system. People are at a massive disadvantage, and, elite people, kind of corporations, governments, etc., people with power use dirty tricks to increase that power, get hold of that power. I mean, even like things like, I don't even massively agree with tax in an ideal system, but in the system we have now, the rich should at least pay their fair share, and they'll use every single underhanded tactic, not to go from a position of having little to a lot, or even a position to have a lot to quite a lot.
So if they're not doing anything wrong, why the masks?
I really resent as well that we have to we have to wear masks. You know, we don't want to have to be looking like this necessarily. I know it kind of looks cool when you first start doing it. I can't lie, but it's the kind of the cool aesthetic. But it does it drives people away, you know, and people think, oh, they're scary. That's not what it's all about. We would say anybody that is vaguely intimidated by this, I get it. I can really see why it would look intimidating, because typically images of masked people are scary, but it's literally just an identity protection thing, and we don't have a better way to do it, really.
From the basement to the 15th floor roof, via corridors littered with the remnants of police activity, grenade pins, empty bullet casings and broken down doors.
Oh my fucking God. Good thing I'm not scared of heights, eh, Rich? How long do you think, realistically, you guys can stay in here?
The sky's the limit. You've seen yourself, it's an incredible space that's been put to no good use so far. And I bet a lot of people in London would have a lot of good ideas for it. I imagine a lot of people will watch this and think, oh, I might be able to do something with some of that. A few lifetimes ago, I would have watched something like this and been like, oh, what a bunch of weirdos. But, you know, you get involved in it, and it turns out actually to be full of really good people trying to do good stuff and trying to solve the problems which we all know this society has and isn't facing up to properly.
Don't say this the wrong way. Would you accept that it is a little bit weird to be living in what used to be the most secure anti-terror police station in the country, and we're stood on top of the roof of it now? Like, that is weird.
It's not what most people are doing with the Tuesday mornings, but yeah, of course. But it's only weird now at the minute. We want it not to be weird. We want it to get gradually less and less weird. Yeah, until eventually loads of buildings squatted and everyone realises, hey, that government, that still exists.
What do you have to say to the cops then from the top of their tower?
Oh, I'm not prepared for this. Come get it, motherfuckers. What do we want to say?
No comment.
No comment, yeah. Retract that last one, cut that last bit. No comment. As always.
They seem pretty confident that when the police come, they'll be able to hold them off. But the Met Police know this building inside out.
Through the blast doors. Bloody hell. That is a blast door, yeah?
So it's a blast door and a loading bay.
Oh, so prisoners in here, straight into the cells, yeah.
It's getting pretty dark. We haven't really been a fan of than that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a working.
Have any of you guys been inside?
Yeah, I want I'd go up now and then come back down.
Well, yeah?
Yeah, if you want to.
If you want.
Bring a point.
I mean...
Yeah, there he is.
The anarchists might have use of the lift, but through the building there are ominous signs of the force the Met Police has at its disposal.
Perhaps drilled, forcing entry into these rooms.
Yeah.
It's also, like empty flashbang pins.
Fucking hell, you got to come at that with some force, haven't you? That's reinforced glass.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever tried to smash that, but it's really, really fucking hard.
Have you?
I reckon probably a shotgun blast, to be honest. It's like really like exploded out, hasn't it? Like there's obviously something really high force.
And also like breaching charges.
Yeah.
Breaching charges, those things. Breach.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've done a breaching charge off the top of that door.
Yeah. It's kind of weird and creepy.
Yeah, it's got a coronavirus vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah. And downstairs, in between the strewn dumbbells, the leftovers of target practice.
Available to public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's quite fun that we've got.
So why put themselves at risk in this way?
For us, the only way that you can save this planet, the only way that you can save human civilization as we know it, or in any sort of decent form, is by ending capitalism. It's literally a system which requires constant consumption, and the only motive to change anything is profit in this. There's no profit in saving the world. There's profit in destroying it. There's so much short-term profit, digging up oil, making weapons, you know, doing all these things that massively damage society and the planet. People think this is the end point of history. It's not. We've had systems before this, better and worse ones. We'll have systems after this, I dare say, better and worse ones. But let's try and move towards a better one, because this one, I mean, if you think that the system we're living in is good, then good for you, I'm happy for you. But I think a lot of the country and the world wouldn't agree with you, and we think it's time for an alternative. There's never going to come a point where these people say, okay, enough's enough, it's time to use this for saving the world, for saving the planet, for making sure that human civilization gets better. It's never going to happen because it's never happened before, and if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. You've even got, you've got people like Elon Musk that people say is going to save everything. Bollocks, is he? An electric car ain't going to save the world. It requires an entire system change.
The young radicals see themselves holding out against society, locked inside their squatted fortress. But on the street, it's business as usual, and the passing commuters go about their lives completely unaware of what's going on inside.